Good morning. This is the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Wednesday, May 5th. Looking at precipitation over the past 7 days on the left, not that much, just a few scatterings. That light shade of blue is just a few hundredths of an inch. Some of that doesn't even reach the ground. The heaviest across parts of western Wyoming, and even that was not very heavy. In terms of percent of normal, you can see most of the geographic area in the red, anywhere from 0 to 10% of normal, and wettest spots, if you can call it that, are received maybe 25 to 50% of their normal precipitation in the orange for what normally falls during the week. In terms of snowfall, the last 72 hours, a bit across western Wyoming in the light blue, and basically 1 to 3 inches for the most part, a few locally higher pockets of snow showers, maybe an inch or so in some of the mountains of central Idaho in the southern part and in the Uintas. Other than that, not too much. In terms of existing snow cover, it's melting away fast across our southern areas. Still holding good from the Uinta Wasatch here on the right-hand side. Looks like anywhere from about 12 to 30 inches of snow cover, and once you get above 6,500 feet or so in western Wyoming and in Idaho, still looks like there's maybe 2 to 3 feet, maybe some locally higher pockets in some of the higher terrain that still has to melt off, but it's going away pretty quickly. Satellite imagery shows a big ridge of high pressure pushing up across the Pacific Northwest. Dry weather, kind of northwest flow across the Great Basin. There is a deep storm system now pushing in from the Gulf of Alaska. A lot of the initial moisture is going to get pushed up into southern Canada. Eventually, this trough is going to push in with a cooling trend along with some clouds. For today, we have high pressure in control. The areas in the tannish to red indicates a drier air mass. Moisture is being pushed into the Pacific Northwest as we speak. On the right-hand side, good overall dispersion. Where you see, excellent, actually, we see the areas in white, and adequate where you see areas in the yellow. We are in that time of year of good sunlight and that good mixing. So on the left, despite the lack of any strong transport winds, we do see good vertical mixing as indicated by the right in the orange to red shades, anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000 feet of mixing above ground level. On Thursday, we see the ridge shifting to the east, and there is a trail of moisture starting to push up mid-level moisture from Mexico through the Four Corners into parts of Utah, getting pulled in by this trough of low pressure. Not much precipitation through there. The low levels are still quite dry. Excellent overall dispersion everywhere, as indicated on the right, areas in the white. We will see increasing transport winds coming in out of the south, especially across parts of Nevada in the orange to red shades, anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour, and maybe 10 to 20 picking up across western Utah and up into Idaho. Vertical mixing, excellent, anywhere from 5 to 10,000 feet above ground level. On Friday, a bit of a front forms up and trails across parts of Utah. The southern part of this, the bark is worse than its bite. Not as much moisture at the surface in most areas. Excellent overall dispersion, as you would normally expect this time of year, and being in the vicinity of even a weak trough low pressure. You see the strongest winds shifting into Utah and also into Idaho as well. But overall, everyone's getting some good breezes coming in, so there should be some good mixing both horizontally as well as vertically, good mixing height, so no restrictions as far as we can see. Now, precipitation over the next 3 days from Wednesday morning through Saturday morning, quite light here, but in these areas across central and northern Nevada and Utah, maybe a couple of hundredths to a tenth of an inch, just enough to dampen up the ground a little bit, and that extends into parts of Wyoming and Idaho. A little bit more closer to the low up in the mountains of central Idaho, where they could see about a quarter of an inch of precipitation. On Saturday, that low is still moving across the northern Rockies into Montana, still slightly cooler than normal, still some clouds, but excellent overall dispersion on Saturday. That low kind of pivots back on Sunday, so more clouds and maybe some scattered showers, but on the lighter side. Monday, the trough still is in place across the eastern Great Basin. Most of the deep moisture shifts out into Colorado and maybe into western Wyoming, but still staying cool and still excellent overall dispersion. Notice the vectors of winds. Everything's kind of coming out of the north, which is on the back side of this low, which is what you would expect. And on Tuesday, we go back to zonal seasonal flow. Some mid-level moisture coming back, creeping back in again. But again, excellent overall dispersion. So everything good there. Precip accumulation days 4 and 5, just a few scatterings through here. Even though there was lots of mid-level moisture, the low level is still quite dry. So other than a few isolated sprinkles, not much really wetting things down, other than maybe a tenth of an inch in the mountains of central Idaho and into western Wyoming. The longer range 8 to 14 day, kind of a mixed bag, a warmer than normal signal across the western Great Basin, near normal or slightly cooler than normal to the east, but a strong, drier than normal signal across most areas. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.